The youth are indeed the hope of the world. This belief deeply resonates with Christian teachings. Their energy, creativity, and willingness to serve make them the salt and light in society. They become champions of justice and compassion, following Christ's command to love your neighbor as yourself. For example, Malala the advocates the girls' education, addressing the issue of inequality. Since she won the Nobel Peace Prize at the age of 17 in 2014. Therefore, Pope Francis encourages the youth, saying, "Young people, do not be afraid to be saints of the new millennium. Moreover, in a world that demands innovation, young people bring perspective and God-given talents to create change." The involvement of youth in governance and advocacy reflect the biblical call to stand up for what is right. Just as Timothy was encouraged in his ministry, young people today can find inspiration in the words of 1 Timothy 4:12. Do not let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. Today's youth have a powerful tool at their fingertips: technology. They use it to spread God's love and truth, creating uplifting content and building virtual communities. In doing so, they live out the Great Commission from Matthew 28:19. Go and make disciples of all nations. Take the example of St. Carlo Aquinas, a young boy who used his love for technology to share his faith. He created websites to spread devotion to the Eucharist and remind people of God's presence. Carlo showed us that holiness is possible even in the modern world. Of course, the challenges young people face today are not new. They mirror the struggles of biblical figures like David, Joseph, Esther, who remained strong and faithful in the face of adversity. Their stories remind us of God's promise in Isaiah 40:31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Young people like Carlo, stand firm in your faith. Embrace your calling and use your gifts God has given you. Let your lives be a testimony of God's truth and love. Young people today are leading the way in advocating for sustainable living, reflecting God's command in Genesis 2:15. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. This reminds us of a responsibility to be good stewards of God's creation. Pope Francis, in his encyclical, clearly speaks of common home. He adds, protecting the environment is not just an option. It is a moral and spiritual duty for all, especially for the young who will inherit the earth. On this regard, I have seen many inspiring examples of youth taking care of the environment, such as keeping their surroundings clean, by organizing campus and community clean-up drives. They also avoid the use of plastic by choosing reusable bags, bottles, utensils. In some areas, youth groups are planting trees to restore nature and spreading awareness on how to reduce waste. This is what you are. They are young people. You are an important part of God's plan for the world. By living out Christian values of love, respect, and care for creation, you inspire hope and transformation in every aspect of society. As St. Paul reminds us in Galatians 6:9, let us not become weary in doing good, but for the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Dear youth, your energy, your faith, and service light the way to a more just, compassionate, and God-honoring future. The family needs you, the church, society needs you, and the world at large needs you. You are important. We love you and appreciate you of who you are and what you are.